My name's Trevor Joseph, you're watching Rolling Slow Media, and today I'm going to install some Eibach springs and BMX spacers on my BMW M2. Now, I love the way the BMW handles, but I always have had an issue with the stance and the ride height. So let's address that in this video today by installing these two simple upgrades. Stay locked, I hope you enjoy this one. Peace. Before I get started on this, just a little disclaimer guys, I'm not a mechanic and this definitely isn't a how-to video. I do like to attempt things like this myself, and because I have the space and I have this quick jack, I definitely thought it would be worth a go. I could save myself some time and some money by doing this job myself. With the wheel off, the next thing I need to do is remove the ABS speed sensor wiring, brake pad sensor wiring, and the front track control arm, which is mounted in the shock. With that out of the way, the next thing I'm going to do is undo the shock at the top mount. But to do this, I need to support the whole shock so it doesn't just fly out once the nut comes off. So I've stuck a couple of blocks on my floor jack to just hold the wheel in place. Once the nut comes loose, I can just lower the floor jack. It lowers the whole wheel assembly and I can just slide the shock out and then remove the spring from the top. You definitely don't need spring compressors. I think that's a little bit overkill. I was a bit worried that I wouldn't be able to get the spring out, but yeah, you definitely don't need spring compressors here. So once the old spring's out, I just slide the new spring in. Make sure you install the bump stops and the rubbers, line it up, and just do the whole thing in reverse. I've got the jack underneath the wheel assembly. Wheel assembly? Is that what it's called? The brake disc. And I'm just going to raise the jack so that I can get the shock aligned with the top mount, and that's basically it. Once you got it all aligned up, you can just screw the top mount to the shock and reattach the ABS speed sensor wiring and the brake pad wear sensor wiring back. Yeah, no. Onto the rears now, and surprisingly the rears are a lot easier than the front. All you really need to do is remove this 21mm bolt. It's quite a long bolt. It's in the lower suspension control arm. Once that bolt comes out, the control arm will drop, the spring will force it down, and you can just remove the spring from the housing. Make sure you take the rubbers off the old spring, the top and bottom rubbers, and attach them onto the new spring, and just repeat what you did in reverse. Slide the spring back in and make sure it's all sitting nice and snug in the control arm, and just screw the whole thing back together. When you do screw the 21mm bolt back into the control arm, make sure you line it up correctly. There is a little bit of play in the rubbers in the control arm, so you may need to wiggle the control arm around a bit to get the bolt through. But once that's done, you're pretty good to go. You just screw it all back together and torque it up. Right, that's it. It's all done. It literally took me all day simply because I'd never done this job before, and I had to do and redo certain things, like I didn't get the spring incorrectly seated and I screwed everything together, and then bang, I realized I had to unscrew it all, and yeah. But yeah, it's all done. I guess a professional mechanic would probably get this done in 2 hours, but hey, I'm an IT guy, I just write code for a living. So yeah, it literally took me all day, but it was worth it. So yeah, now I'm gonna drop the car and yeah, see what it looks like. Cross your fingers guys, I hope this looks good. So guys, what do you think? Does it look better with the lowering springs? I didn't put the spacers on because I wanted the car to settle and I wanted to see how it looked once the springs had settled down. Ride quality definitely has improved. It's a little bit firmer, but I've always thought that the BMW M2 handled really well. I think the standard shocks are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I personally think it wasn't worth it. I would prefer, I mean, it's a finger. You can just get a finger there,
Maybe if it was about 10 mil lower on the front. The back, I'm comfortable with the back. I do like the stance on the back. I always like a little bit of rake on a car. And I've also always gone with coilovers. This is the first time I've gone just springs. And yeah, just 10 mil. That's all I needed, 10 mil. Should I maybe just change the fronts or should I go coilovers? What do you guys reckon? Anyway, I will see you in the next video, which will be when I install carbon fiber splitter, front, rear, and a nice side skirt. And then I'll probably put the spacers on. Yeah, so let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you think this looks okay, or should I go coilovers? Anyway, thank you so much. I will catch you in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.